Woke up today to a nice little surprise by Mrs. Market. As usual, she rewarded me for my discipline and my patience. We took home about 69k today. This was a quick little trade which I caught out in front of hundreds of students during yesterday's live trading session inside the 1% club. As you can see right here, this was the GJ trade that we took, entered upon the flip plus sweep zone, and then we just pretty much targeted this swing high right here. And yeah, let's just pop on a clip which shows me calling this out in front of hundreds of students. If you were there, you could have caught this move with me. That's all I gotta say, man. Okay, this was that last break of structure to the downside. Price comes down, pulls back, comes down, pulls back. This was that last bearish break of structure. Based on this is the 4-hour range that we can we're potentially playing within. The 4-hour high right here. And then there's a 4-hour low here. Okay, so based on this, right? Once again, same thing. You want to mark up your medium time frame point of interest, and you see that there's a extreme one right here, which has already been mitigated, right? Because prices came all the way in here before it went down even further. So that's where I potentially be marking up this one as here. Well, the thing about this one is that this one has already been mitigated, so it's not the ideal point of interest. But yeah, we'll just leave that on as like an extreme zone. Okay, and then there's potentially this one right here, which price has just mitigated. Okay, this one right here is a sweep zone, right? Flip the sweep zone right here. Okay, price mitigated that zone, creating a failed reaction, right? This is potentially like a failed reaction here. This entire thing right here could just be like a failed reaction for price to go up even further. Okay, so there's that. So let me just look at the lower time frame. Price is mitigated this point of interest. You can probably draw like a demand right here as well, right? In this area here, for demand. Yep, you can see that prices came all the way down here to this demand right here. Okay, this demand right here. In this case, this demand zone is also a flip zone, right? Since it caused this supply zone right here to fail. Okay, let's go down to the lower time frame since price has mitigated this demand zone. Okay, look at this right here. Okay, any available liquidity on the left hand side? Was it a straight push like that? No, not really. Price went up, fractal pullback, go up, fractal pullback, and then go down even further, and then come down here. So based on this is the available liquidity that is near the point of interest, which has already been swept, right? So that's good. And then look at the pullback phase, right? Pullback phase, price came down here, right? Creating lower highs, right here, taking out that low, bearish break of structure. Do we have any form of strong liquidation, right? Price come down, go back, come down, go back up, come down, go back up, come down, go back up. So based on this was the last lower high, okay? And you can see the price took out this high. No, not really. So there was no fractal market shift until like somewhere right around here. Okay, so based on this was the last fractal high, or the last lower high, where we finally got the market shift right there. All of this, right? All of this price action in here, you don't care about it, right? Because of the fact that this is like the internal of the, it's like internal fractal structure, right? You only care about the first layer of fractal structure, which is this one right here, and this low right here. Okay, and then price come down, right? You can see it failed to take out this high right here, and it continued bearish. So now price has finally take out that high right here. This is where we know that there's a shift in structure, and then based on this, you can identify that this is potentially your flip plus sweep zone that we have right here. You can see price mitigating this supply right here. Okay. What happened right here is that price has already filled up the remaining sell orders from this supply right here, and it continuing down even further, right? So this supply zone has already been used. I want a fresh one, right? So in that case, it'll be this one right here, which has also been used as well. And then this is where you find this one right here. This one is fairly unmitigated, price mitigated, right? Fill out the remaining sell orders, creating a flip, came up there, and then swept the flip right here. Once we created a flip plus sweep, and then it led to a fractal market shift just like this. So we know that at this price point, this is an institutional zone, which we want to actually make our entry from. So if you are using the pivot method, you'll potentially just be marking out like, oops, what the hell is this? You'll potentially just be marking out like this candle right here as your flip plus sweep. But if you are marking up the entire range, you'll be marking up this entire range that we have right here. And if you do that, right, you have already been tapped into the trade because of the fact that the price has pulled back into the edge of the zone itself. Right, but for this scenario, I'm probably just gonna like mark up the refined zone just like this. Okay, so that is your flip plus sweep, which is your entry model number 6. Alright, your entry model number 6. So right now, all we can do is to wait for price to pull back to this flip plus sweep right here and potentially look for our entry in here. Let me see whether this zone held. Okay, yeah, this one actually held. Did price take out this high right here? Did price take out this low here? Actually, let me just see. Okay, yeah, it swept available liquidity below this low here as well. So based on this, this is that low, which will most likely not be broken if price were to remain bullish. So I forgot to mention this actually, but there's also your extreme zone here. This one right here is potentially your extreme zone. 15 minutes demand. So my playbook is that if there's a flip plus sweep zone, I will enter on a flip plus sweep. If there's no flip plus sweep, if it's just like an ordinary flip zone just like this, where price created a failed reaction just like this, no flip plus sweep right here, I'll personally enter on the extreme zone itself. Right, but in this case there was a flip plus sweep, so I can potentially look for my entry at this flip plus sweep that we have right here. So yeah, we will potentially wait for price to come down to this zone right here and then look for our entry from there. And then potentially we could target like somewhere around here. Let me set an alert real quick actually. Yeah, if you guys don't know how to set alert, you can just come here, put in the value that you want to get alerted from. 191.2, 191.2, there we go. GJ crossing 191.2, there we go. And then you can like adjust this as well. I'm just gonna put it at the edge of this zone. So then price come down there, I can potentially get that into the trade. Or whether I'll probably place like a buy limit order there as well, right? So that when price come down there, I can just get them in the trade. Because right now, right, what can happen is that over here, price did this, right? Come up there, take out this last factor high, and then came down here, creating another low right here. Right, so based on this, there is available liquidity below this low here as well. So I can potentially expect that to be swept, them to this flip plus sweep run, and then we can potentially move to the upside. So that's currently my bias for GJ. Yeah, that's just my bias on GJ, and that's what potentially I'll be doing later during the New York session. We will see whether our alert goes off or not. Yeah, this zone right here, price has already been mitigated. You can see right here, price actually came down here, swept this low, tap into this extreme zone, and then move to the upside. So I honestly don't think that price can come down to this low right here. I myself, I'm gonna be looking to get in like somewhere right here at the flip zone itself. So yeah, as you can see during the live trading session, which I host bi-weekly with my students, they pretty much get to see me analyze the charts from top to bottom. They get to look at how I apply market mechanics onto the charts in real time with precision. So during the live session, I actually placed an alert at the edge of the flip plus sweep zone, right? And then once price actually mitigated that flip plus sweep zone, that is where I actually went down to the lower time frame during the New York session since my alert have went off, and then I tried to look for my entry, right? So I pretty much entered somewhere right around here when price actually gave me like this huge bullish momentum candlestick right here, which confirmed to me that this flip plus sweep zone is holding, and then price has also mitigated like the 50% of the flip right here. It wasn't necessarily like the best entry. I'll say like the best entry would be like somewhere right around here, but this is still a pretty decent entry, right? And I pretty much placed my stop loss below this low, and then I move it to like below this low right here as price keep on going up even further to protect my downside. And yeah, price just went straight up, right? Nothing else for me to say. Price just went straight up because of the fact that this is indeed an institutional zone, right? So if you look at this entry model, this is entry model number 6 inside the 1% club, right?
because inside the 1% Club, we got 7 entry models that our students actually use. This is just one of them, right? And you can see it's clearly working really well, actually insanely well. Literally made me 69k, 69 by the way. So yeah, as you can see my trading journal so far in February, we haven't lost a single trade yet, which is honestly quite insane. At the start of February, we had like a little setback, right, where we actually almost lost $10,000, but I was very lucky that I moved my stop loss into break even, so I actually end up breaking even on that one trade itself. And then after that, it's just been W's over W's, and this actually happens quite often, right? I realize that a lot of times I start getting into a winning streak at the start of the month, and then I start getting complacent, and then I start to neglect my trade plan, and then I start to get overconfident and think that I'm invincible. Then next thing you know, I'm taking a bunch of low qualities setups and just losing trades after trades, right? So I'm very aware of that by now, which is why I'm actually like trading lesser right now, right? I'm really focusing on A+ setups. I'm completely avoiding low probability or even medium probability setups so that I can really like preserve my capital. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm honestly pretty numb to the profits right now. Nothing to celebrate. 69k, whatever. We are just gonna move on to the next opportunity. It is what it is. Another win in the bag.